When I first saw this guy fight back in the day, I said to myself, this guy reminds me of a buzzsaw. 5'5", a solid, anywhere between 172 and 190 pounds. And I didn't know at the time he was called Buzzsaw, but get this, they call him the Camden Buzzsaw. When I first saw him, he was called Dwight Braxton, but he later converted to Muslim. It became a Muslim. Dwight Muhammad Qawi. And for me, pound for pound, one of the most rugged fighters I've ever had the pleasure of covering. Now, he competed from 1978 to 1998, winning the light heavyweight championship of the world and the cruiserweight champion of the world. He was the WBC and Ring magazine light heavy title holder from 81 to 83 and a WBA cruiserweight title holder from 85 to 86. And he fought everybody. Vander Holyfield, Michael Spinks, Rosman, Matthew South Muhammad, all the top fighters of his era. Now, Qawi, then known as Dwight Braxton, was born in Baltimore but grew up in Camden, New Jersey, where he got involved with crime at a young age. He was eventually convicted of armed robbery and spent about 5 years in prison. Now, as this writing, he's 70, so born in 1953. It was in Rahway State Prison that Braxton found his place in life. The prison had an extensive boxing program, and one of his inmates, the famous James Scott, was a light heavyweight title contender who fought several times inside the prison itself. Braxton took up the sport a la Ron Lyle, and when he was released from prison in 78, he immediately became a professional boxer. Qawi's style was most often likened to Joe Frazier, and with good reason, as he had trained in Frazier's Philly gym as a pro. He converted to Islam in the early 80s, and again had his name changed from Braxton to Qawi. Now, he went 1-1-1 these first 3 pro fights, but then won 14 straight to move the world rankings at light heavy. The last of those wins came on September 5th, 81, when Braxton returned to Rahway to fight Scott, with a winner promised a shot at Matthew Franklin or Matthew Saad Muhammad's WBC world title belt. Braxton won a unanimous 10-round decision. At that time, ladies and gentlemen, the light heavyweight division was the best in boxing in that 5-year period between the late 70s and the early 80s. Now, on December 19 the same year, he fought Matthew Franklin in Atlantic City, Saad Muhammad. Braxton was the underdog against Saad, one of the most popular fighters of his generation and a fellow Hall of Famer. But Braxton defeated him on a 10-round TKO and became a world champion for the first time. It was shortly after this he announced his conversion to Islam and changed his name. He defended his title 3 times in the next 15 months, knocking out Jerry Martin, Saad Muhammad a second time, and Eddie Davis. But on March 18, 83, he lost a close unanimous decision to WBA champion Michael Spinks and unification bout. Of course, Spinks went on to be heavyweight champion, losing to Tyson. Now, Qawi felt that making division's 170-pound weight limit had drained him physically, even at 5'5", and resolved to seek another world title in the newly created cruiserweight division. Freed of the need to fight to keep his weight down, he reeled off another series of wins and claimed the WBA title, beating Piet de Cruz in Cruz's native South Africa in July of 85. He then won 2 more fights, including victory over former light heavyweight champion Leon Spinks, before accepting a challenge from Evander Holyfield. The fight in Holyfield's hometown Atlanta was rough, went the full 15 rounds, with Holyfield winning a split decision. Now, after the loss to Holyfield, he fought off and on for the next 12 years, but never regained a world title. He rematched with Holyfield in 87 for the WBA and the IBF cruiserweight titles, but was stopped in the 4th round. After a short stint in the heavyweight ranks, where he lost in 88 to George Foreman by knockout in the 7th round, being forced to quit from exhaustion, he tried to regain the cruiserweight title. On November 27, 89, he dropped a split decision to Robert Daniels for Holyfield's vacated WBA title because Holyfield had moved up to heavyweight. Now, when he retired in 99 at the age of 46, his final record was 41-11-1 with 21 wins by the way of knockout. Currently, he works as a boxing trainer in New Jersey. Now, in 98, Dwight began working at the Lighthouse, a drug and alcohol rehabilitation center in Mays Landing, New Jersey, where he works with both adults and adolescents and is a patient advocate. Now, for me, ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the most underrated fighters of the 1980s. Every fight was a war, as we like to say. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing with our 5-minute boxing podcast, let us know. Like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, requests are always appreciated and always highly considered. Bye.